Hello, this is Matthew here, Mathodar, as you know from my channel. Well, you might have noticed that I actually skipped an episode. The last time I replied was for Every Which Way But Zeus. That is because I really, to the nth degree, liked the Venturific, you know, very Venture Vodcast, because they did a very valorous job of, getting all the facts across. And that was one thing that, was very good, by the way. Very good review of that episode. Um, that being said, since I know you guys usually post a week after the actual episode comes out, I'm going to be doing a quick little review of Bright Lights Dean City. I actually was going to do one yesterday, but I have not yet. So, I'm just now doing that. Okay, getting back to it. This was a really crazy episode. I mean, just kind of like the last episode with Hank. It was just crazy. Everybody Goes to Hank's was just, they did so much in it. I mean, character development. Character development. I mean, they're finally growing up. The boys that were cookie cutout characters with the big black lines around them is like a comic strip, pretty much. They're actually having to deal with real life. Wow. Now, they're still sheltered to a degree. You can tell that because I think Hank's, you know, big place he was running was actually like one of the old hangars there on his dad's place. But hey, it's a step in the right direction. Dean, of course, doing the big move, actually going to New York. That was impressive. Well, at least they didn't call it Metropolis. That would have been a bit different. So doesn't really matter. They can do what the hell they want. So we start out with a kick-ass intro by Phantom Limb. I mean, I just loved the intro because it was all like, what the crap? All these people die. Oh, if you haven't seen the episode, go see the episode before you watch this. Okay, got it? Before I do anything else, go see the damn episode. Got it? Cool. If you haven't ever seen the Venture Brothers, I don't know who the hell you are. Go away. I have only seasons 1 and 2 on DVD. I'm about to be getting season 3 on DVD. I'm gonna wait till season 4 is actually done before I get season 4 on DVD. So, might as well wait. Commentary, as always, listen to it. Good stuff. I love their commentaries. Amusing. Very amusing. Especially when they answer the phone in the middle of the commentary. Back on subject! Welcome to my neurosis. Okay, so Phantom Limb does a very kick-ass intro talking about killing off tons of people and how they're going to get away with it, which sounds like he's really enthusiastic about it. I'm sure it won't actually work. So, but that's being said. So, Phantom Limb, Professor Impossible, whatever he's going to go by now as a villain, and Barrett Underbite, who are now the Revenge Society, hired Dean Venture as an intern in New York City. Immediately upon Dean showing up, most of the people at Impossible Industries quit. I think they figured out Professor Impossible had gone crazy. Somehow, I think that whole destruction thing was covered in the news media. I don't remember if they had television cameras there, but I'm assuming that Professor Impossible was under some serious critique for what happened. Uh, Especially because he kind of sheltered Phantom Limb when he was under attack by all the guild guys. Oh well, who cares? As part of Phantom Limb's plan to enact revenge on everyone's on his shit list, when Dean discovers that Professor Impossible is working with them, he attacks Underbite, smacking him right in the knee, blowing a whistle the entire time. Uh, but basically, Phantom Limb there zaps him. When Dean wakes up, Professor Impossible has him there in the big jet that he flies around in, and tells him that the Revenge Society is an organization to help former supervillains to reintegrate into society, which Dean believes. Now, before he interviews anyone, then comes the nice little fun of, oh look, guess who is coming to town? Well, you see, Sergeant Hatred and Dr. Venture there came to town to see the Music Man, as well as drop off Dean, and then leave. Well, Dr. Venture got, I'm hooked on Broadway! And he decided to write his own Broadway musical, I'm Rusty! And he sings the songs and plays on the piano, and he shows up at Dean's no rent or low rent apartment on his no salary because he's a non-paid intern. Been there, done that. I feel his pain. Webmastering of Irving Independent School District for 6 months. I helped him rebuild the entire website. Zero salary, 9 hours a day, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Fun! Alright, getting back to sanity. Wait, I'm going to do that some point today? Uh, I'll make a rain check for tomorrow. Anyway, but when it comes down to it, he decided to make it. Well, as he was writing it, the rest of it, they're like, oh, he wants, it, Dr. Venture's like, hey, Dean, could you perform some industrial espionage? And Dean was like, well, no, I mean, even if I knew what big project he was working on, I couldn't, and I was like, what? Big project he's working on? What are you talking about? Oh, well, that doesn't matter. Could you make copies of this? And shows him a picture of him as boy adventurer Rusty, Rusty Venture, and he's apparently writing all about his adventures and times. And when Professor Impossible overhears that by stretching himself down there, they decide they're going to take out Dr. Venture. So Baron Underbite plays a taxi driver. He They take Dr. Venture on the taxi, and whereas Phantom Limb is giving this oh so evil villain speech he loves to do so well, Professor Impossible floods the cabin with gas. And yes, I said the cabin, not the back where the passengers are, the cabin. So Baron Underbite goes unconscious. And the vehicle's driving wildly through the streets, and this big Spider-Man guy shows up and saves the day. He rips the door off and even does the classic, you've come to your last stop, don't forget to tip the driver, kind of routine. And Dr. Venture, his usual douchebaggery self, just leaves immediately. And even complains about the guy saving his life, basically. Although he doesn't say it as such. So, Dr. Venture decides to stay at Dean's house, causing Dean to get completely insane because his job is incredibly strange. He has a bunch of villains that hate his dad, all just surrounding him constantly, and he's having to put up with little or no sleep at his house, which is crazy. So he does once again find out about, Phantom Limb and Baron Underbite working with Professor Impossible, and he interviews over 9,000 different potential members, including Lady Hawk Johnson, who can turn into a bird at night, and Lyndon B. Johnson, who can turn into a bee during the day. Of course, Lyndon B. Johnson, a parody of the President, and Lady Hawk Johnson, obvious parody of the fantasy film Lady Hawk. Basically, she can turn into a hawk while her husband is human. It's a parody of the fantasy film Lady Hawk. Fat Chance's powers are similar to those of Flash supporting cast member Chunk, if anyone remembers Chunk. One of the supervillains, basically that the Revenge Society interviews, wields a knife, is referenced to, basically to The Shining, because of the kind of crazy way he was acting, the bear suit guy. And Brown Widow is a parody of Spider-Man. He's the one that said he was in the Sound of Music when he was younger. In the 1978 Amazing Spider-Man TV series, Spider-Man was played by Nicholas Hammond, who played Frederick Von Trapp in the movie The Sound of Music. Anyway, so, they find out about that, and there's a Silent Man in a bear costume with a bloody knife, and Fat Chance who can pull random things from anywhere in time and space out of his stomach, which we find out where that alternate dimension is later. Meanwhile, Dr. Venture works on his musical as Rude Dean. The Revenge Society learns about Rusty's musical, and Mr. Big Time from Big Time Productions invites him over to the Impossible Building as a trap. When he gets there, the current three members, alongside Lady Hawk Johnson, Lyndon B. Johnson, and Fat Chance, ambush him. Dean tries to get help, but he accidentally reactivates Cody, causing a massive fire surging throughout the whole building. Unaware that the only way to extinguish Cody is to put him into sleep, Dean releases him, thinking that he's just on fire. Phantom Limb tries to zap Rusty, but Fat Chance trips over him and sends him to the alternate universe. The fire spreads to the whole building while Dean's trying to have everyone evacuate. While that's going on, the post-credits scene, the cliffhanger from the previous episode where the crazy, handsome-looking Dr. Venture comes through, turns out he's an alternate universe counterpart who is returning Rusty to the proper dimension. The alternate universe Dr. Venture says Rusty tried to kill him and take his place because he has more hair, more money, and a hit Broadway musical. I'm Rusty, Rusty, doo-doo. Alright, have yourselves a Venturific day, and see you guys next episode. We're so close to the season finale.